God gave us recovery, a shifa. God gave us resilience, or in Arabic, thabat. God gave us compassion, rahmah. God gave us assistance, inayah. God gave us support. God gave us guidance and hidayah. God gave us rewards in facing the good life, in dunya and also hereafter. So every time I came back home, um, my dad um, always did advise me to only be slave to the only God. Um, is whenever that I came back, um, I will always, look so tired, and I have less time to talk to my parents. After works, I feel like, or I can use the word lethargic. I hope I get pronunciation right. Kepenatan lah yang teramat sangat. So my dad said that to only be slave to the only God. So it takes me several years to understand or to take action. What is this advice mean? And slowly I try to put in a perspective what does it mean. And when I start to dive in the book, and I start to, and because the second habit that we talk about, begin with the end in mind, and it reminds me about freedom of choice. We are doing things with or without people looking at us. We are doing good things with or without people looking at us. Um, so it was tiring if we keep on thinking about, whenever that we want to make decision, we think about what will people say, or will we be in a, criticism. People will give us criticism. So it takes me, somehow it does put me to be so tired, because how maybe because of before this I how I see things, how I see work, because I want to do my best, but the best that I'm putting in my perspective is to make sure people see that I'm doing the good things, instead of I really want to do good. Takes I do not know that it does take my energy, but it really does. So today we will start to moving into planning, when we have started owning what is our mission, and we just knew that we want to do good things, not because of people, but because that is our purpose. Start to write down and think for a moment, what is your mission or personal mission statement. um, I'm giving everyone to think, process, and write. This mission statement, we're gonna see it throughout the session today. So I really need everyone to start thinking, processing, and writing it down. Mission statement could be um, general, but I suggest you have to put it a little bit specific. Maybe you can insert some of your roles. We have discussed a little bit about personal mission statement in the last session. But I'm not sure, have we started writing one? If yes, then open it up or read it through. If not, then you can start thinking about your mission statement. In the last session, where some of them say that I want to be happy, I want to, open up a business. I want to graduate on time. I want to work abroad. So there's a lot of mission statement that has been informed in the last session. But as I said, it needs some times for you to think, for you to process of all those statements that you are mentioning. Is that for real? Of is that for real that you really want it, or um, is actually um, people ask you to think that way, and because it's a social mirror where our thinking somehow affected by our culture, by our social mirror, by the political biases, by the status of our economic status, uh, or we've been the ideology of our parents saying that, oh, you have to be an engineer, then I want to be engineer. Let us take some times reflecting on these two questions. It is important for us to really looking through about this question and um, a deeper inner state on understanding these questions. So I'm reading the first question. If you were to do one thing that you know would make a significant positive impact in your study, work, or professional life, if you did it superbly well, what would that one thing be? And the second question, if you were to do one thing superbly that you know would have a great impact on your personal life, what would that one thing be? All right, so I'll continue. Having a good relationship with friends and family. Mm. So this is for the second question, Osai? All right. Okay, so moving on with this, our first very topic about our topic today, put first things first. It is actually habit 3 under this particular book of 7 habits of highly effective people, and it's about the habit of personal management. This is being passionate. Thank you. How I can call your name? Guy or Chol? Okay, thank you. Thank you for writing your answer or sharing your thoughts about the questions. The overview of habit 1 and habit 2, and today we're gonna go for habit 3. So we talk about be proactive. So being proactive is we understand that we have power, we have freedom, we have the ability to choose responses to whatever happens to us based on our values. In habit 2, we talk about begin with the end in mind. Takes me to really, put my egos down, understanding about the purpose of life. It takes into understanding about the imagination, visualizing about the mental images. So this is where we talk about our personal mission, and I do hope now everyone have started thinking and processing about your mission statement. You can read and reread your personal mission statement throughout the session. The idea of time management is on the quadrant 2, so keep your focus on the quadrant 2. So tips have responded here for both questions. On the two questions that we asked just now, the ability to accept and things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you, tips. So so let us focus on the slide on the quadrant 2. Quadrant 2 is a cure quadrant. We do things because they are or they serve our purpose. So that is, as I said, that is why it is so much important for you to know, to understand your mission statement. And in this quadrant, understanding about metrics that we have, it divided into four main: urgent, not urgent, and we got important, not important. Important things serve our mission, and unimportant things do not serve our mission. Urgent things have pressing deadline, and non-urgent things don't. Yeah. So we have to understand, when we talk about important, it serve our mission, and when we talk about urgent, we have the pressing deadline. So talking about pressing deadline, say for example, you're gonna send your assignment today, so that is deadline. But what 1 month deadline. So the very first day before the deadline, sorry, the very first day on the apa of that particular month. So it might not be an urgent things, yeah, but it falls under important. So in the first session, you remember that we have discussed about the goose and the golden egg. Yeah. So we see that uh, this is the metaphor out of um, two things. Of the goose is and the golden eggs is the production. So um, in this category two, or in this quadrant two, uh, these are opportunities and production capacity activities that we do ahead of time to prevent problems and crises. Example, planning activities, identifying opportunities, preparation, crisis intervention. The answers that you're giving um, of the of that two particular questions is actually false under this important and not urgent quadrant. If we are able to put our time or focus in this quadrant two, the outcome will be we got the balance, we got to be disciplined, we will be able to reduce crisis because it serves our purpose. Remember, our mission, it's changeless. Okay, so let us move to the next one, the red one, important and urgent. Covey said this thing, if we have crisis, if we have problems, they have first to they are the first thing that we have to first thing that we have to tackle the crisis, we have to tackle the problem. Quadrant one is a symptom quadrant. um, we talk about crisis management, firefighting, and but the outcome, if we keep our focus in this particular quadrant, um, about it's always about important and urgent things, it gonna increase our stress level, um, let being lethargy, it's kepenatan, we do not have maaf balance tu tak ada kat situ, tersalah tulis kat situ, dan management based on crisis, and we always fighting over the problems. What if people who are living in the crisis area, example, those who are in war, uh, those who are having a stressful condition, in war, abusive family, so they always have to be thinking about this important and urgent thing. This is about the third quadrant. So it got into urgent but not important. Um, Things that feel urgent without actually being important. Um, or these are things that we call proximate, pressing, and popular. The current things that you are involving in that is actually, it looks urgent, but it's not important. So, say for example, to keep your eyes on the social medias, reading for more than 3 hours is seems urgent because we see the notification, Telegram, WhatsApp, social, what else? Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You keep coming back to your phones because you listen to the sound, ting notification sound. So you quickly get your phone and see what is that an important awareness about what is your mission. As I said, important things serve our mission. So if it serves your mission, then that is important. So it will be unique to each of us because I do not know what is your mission. Okay. Uh, so um, and this is a cost quadrant. So we spend time doing urgent things but not important things. Let us go to the quadrant 4. It includes both not urgent, not important, doesn't serve our mission, and doesn't have pressing deadline. So, example, escape reading or watching television, Netflix, what else? YouTube, and other platforms that I might not aware on. Yeah. What else? Can you tell me what other platform of watching videos or movies? We have no definition of what is busy. Yeah. So so come back to when come back to the meaning of important itself, our mission. As I said, it's always come back to the mission that you want in your life, and that is why in the second habit we talk about begin with the end in mind. So because we don't want just to think out of things that we want, but we want to start to do it. If you keep thinking about doing things without even put any action towards it, it actually hurts. It does affects our emotion and mental wellness. Okay, I need you to write down this metric. So you got urgent, not urgent, important, not important. So at this moment, you may try to think what is your not urgent and important things. This one is important. While you are writing, uh, so we have to think beyond happiness, beyond hedonism perspective. So what is hedonism perspective? We think we want to have fun and happy just at this moment. Um, we are not thinking the decision that we are doing today to our future. How does it benefited our future? How to practice beyond hedonism perspective? We need to understand happiness consists of looking at the current moment as well as the future benefits. Okay, so think about it. Thinking beyond hedonism perspective of happiness, it does not only benefit it at this moment, at that current moment, at the present moment, but it's also about our future benefits. Okay, so I do hope that you guys have draw the quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. It's actually a reactive responses. So remember the first habit we talk about proactive responses. Quadrant 3 and quadrant 4 is reactive responses, where the choices that we made, it is actually based on our temporary feelings. Example, quadrant 3, urgent and not important. So there's a temporary sense of urgency is a good so it's often a good choice. Changing clothes. I'm not sure, but you can think about what is something urgent and not important, but they don't serve our mission. And in the quadrant four, uh, choices are pleasant but not productive. Uh, some valuable activities, okay, like reading or recreation, it can become quadrant four if we overdo them. But you have to remember you have the mission. So back to quadrant two, the choices that we made are proactive because they are based on values. They are not urgent. So proactivity or attention to values is the cure. If you were to know what is it to put first thing first, you are able to organize and execute according to priorities. How you want to create support, you have to make sure you need to have or you need to write down your personal mission statement. All right, so I do hope the session is benefits for us at this moment, also for the future.